Once again, you already know what it is, and you already know where you have reached the number one up and coming professional wrestling podcast, collaborative podcast in the world, man. It's your man, Sean Hubbard, in the building, representing Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. To my immediate left, my good friend and the host and the proprietor of Everything Pro Wrestling. He's the one and only Conrad Cushman, and collectively, we are a clash of the podcast. There is a lot to talk about. So many people already in the chat. Appreciate you guys. You have no idea. It's very much a blessing to have you guys with us once again. Episode 49. We're getting there, Conrad. Episode 49, man. So, y'all know how I feel about some things. I'm about to get into a whole lot of stuff. SummerSlam is in the rearview mirror. In the forefront, we have All In from AEW. A little bit lackluster card so far, man. I'm not really feeling it. Conrad might disagree. But we got a lot of stuff to talk about, man. So, as always, let's have some fun. Conrad, drop that thing, bro.
Yeah, what's good, everybody? Welcome to Clash of the Podcast, episode 49. Like, it doesn't even feel real. How did we get to this point? I don't know, but it's been a fun ride. It's like a roller coaster. We're sitting up at the tippy top, about to hit 52. I'm actually looking forward to that episode. I don't know why. It's just a milestone. No weeks missed. Nada. So we've been here for you guys every single Monday, 6:05. That's our time, and we get it in every single Monday. It is much appreciated, and all of this is because of the fans. So we gotta shout you guys out. Sir Quills was up in here early, like the rain in the drought. I'll save the rest of that freestyle for another time.
There you go.
Conrad and Sean. And chat, Sir Quills is here again to enjoy episode 49 of Clash of the Podcast. Conrad and Sean, I'm looking forward to your breakdowns of SummerSlam because let's be real, it's a 6.5/7 out of 10 show. Woo! Doug was there in person. He says, hey, yo, SummerSlam was great in person besides two things. Ronda versus Shayna, and the end to the main event. Best live event I've been to yet, but that might change after Wednesday. Yes, me and Doug were just talking. He's going to be at Dynamite, too. He said he just made the impulse decision. He's like, I'm getting a ticket. Why not?
Good for you.
Why not? Joel in the house. What's up, Joel? Appreciate you.
Conrad, got to show love to Joel. Appreciate you. And speaking of showing love, M-Leezy-O Cheesy in the building.
Matt always appreciates you. He says, good evening, Conrad and Sean. Let's kick off with the best podcast to kick off the week. I like it. Spoiler alert, Sean is disgusted, as we all are. Sean did go live on his channel immediately after SummerSlam. If you wanted his thoughts, he's got a nice, 20 minutes? 20-minute vid up.
Somewhere in that ballpark. I didn't want to spoil tonight. Leezy was there. Guy was there. Quills, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate you. Jocelyn came outside figuratively on a late night, as well as you, Conrad. Doug as well. It's a lot, bro. I mean, it's been a very tough one to wrap my head around, and you know, we'll get into it.
Listen, for some inside baseball, I want y'all to know that night, by the time I had spoke to Sean, before Sean went live, before any of the other folks that we know went live, I was suffering during that main event. I was falling asleep. Like I couldn't keep my eyes open for it at the first watch around. I was like, man, this is tough right now. And I don't know why. I don't know if it was just me, something else. Maybe it was a long day. I don't know, but I was struggling. Vinny in the house. He said, good evening, y'all. God bless as always. Vinny, always appreciate it, my friend. Welcome.
God bless you, Vinny. And thank you for coming out last night. As a matter of fact, I think Vinny was in the live chat as well. Thank you, Vinny.
Vinny was there as well at the show. And Doug asked him what he thought. We'll get into some of Vinny's thoughts here in 1 second. BJ said Tribal Combat Rules said no interference until Jay and Roman were done. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that as well. They kind of forgot what they said when they first announced the match. And Doug said that's my biggest complaint. Vinny said I was there at SummerSlam and the crowd was exhausted after that battle royal. Got hot for the end of Seth and Finn, the tribal combat. The best match was Cody and Brock, in my opinion. We popped huge for Brock, hugging Cody. Sean, Guy Will Gamble in the chat.
Always a pleasure. Guy Will Gamble, not only for your participation.
Up the stories that don't make sense no more.
Well, we were talking about that live. He and I were going back and forth on Instagram, and he and I are in lockstep. Guy Will Gamble, M. Leezy Fashizi, Quills, we're all in lockstep on this thing, man. Doug, even, Vinny, like we're all kind of like flabbergasted at this ridiculousness that we're watching right now in WWE. It's really disappointing, bro. Like, if you notice, my tone is not like, I'm sure a lot of people thought I was going to spaz out. Like, I'm just disgusted, man. It's like eating, it's like drinking sour milk at this point.
I hear you. We'll get into some of it. We'll get into it. Eric says 4 months later, and I still have to ask, why didn't Cody win at Mania? I shrug. I couldn't tell you anymore what's going on. So many people flooded the bathrooms for Ronda and Shayna. Yeah, that's sad, though. When people are talking about all this women's wrestling stuff, and me and Sean aren't going to get into it this week, and I didn't want to bring it up. And Sean, I'm going to just say my side of it. I don't want to talk about these people because we don't know these people. So whatever happens, and that's not, and don't devalue someone's experience. Two people can work at the same company and have two very different experiences at the same time. So I never want to devalue that for someone. So if someone brings that up and says, hey, how come you're not talking about X, Y, and Z this week? Or the situation with both locker rooms and their women's divisions, I'm just not getting into it this week because I don't know what's going on. And I think the fans don't know what's going on. So I think it's best to fall back until we know more. And then maybe we can talk about it. That's just my feeling on it, Sean.
Touché.
Original Biggie says, good evening, EPW and Sean. Good evening, chat. Hope y'all are doing good. That's on the Twitch side of things.
Good evening, Biggie. Appreciate you, man.
Twitch getting live. Jocelyn getting live. Appreciate you.
Jocelyn, top tier person.
McKinney, speaking of top tier, he said, yo, I'm here to talk wrestling and let y'all know. Go to those reunions and meetups with friends. It's great for the soul. Let's go.
Amen, brother. Amen.
That is true. Just be careful out in Alabama, apparently. Not feeling... Oh, here we go. Not feeling the card. Next time, they need to add a white folding chair match. Come on now, sick. That video is crazy. Y'all been on y'all Grizzly for real. I appreciate that, Guy Will Gamble. Thank you.
Thank you,
Sleepy
sir.
due to the rain, but I am here. Well, maybe we can make you get live up in here. Appreciate you, Vinny. Xavier Drayton says, my guys. What up, Xavier?
Welcome, X. Thank you, man.
Let's see here. Someone said that main event went long. I couldn't tell you because I was drifted. I don't know how long it went. Cody won me over after this match Saturday. Not gonna lie, still gonna be funny. Ooh, we'll have to get into that. One good thing came out of the main event: Jay versus Jimmy is going to be amazing. I really wanted Ronda to go out with a solid match and get some kudos, but not happening. Are we doing SummerSlam or Collision Fallout? I only saw the last 5 minutes of SummerSlam and still haven't seen or heard anything else about either show. I did watch Collision at the same time. My Collision viewing was not without missing some things as well. So I couldn't tell you like what commentary said or anything. Sean, did you check out Collision?
I had to catch it on delay, but I saw it afterwards.
I saw people complaining about the numbers. Is that an error for them, or is this something that they're just going to have to grit their teeth? Because I saw afterwards, at least on my timeline, and bias and mostly AEW fans said that they thought Collision was the better show, when they watched both.
It was hindsight being 2020, but I mean, unfortunate part was that they're never going to get a good rating going up against a major pay-per-view. So
that's a fact.
There's nothing you can really do about that. But it was the better show. Collision was awesome on Saturday night.
It was great just because I got to hear my favorite Ricky the Dragon Steamboat theme. I don't know if you're a fan of the WrestleMania 3 theme, Sean, but when I hear the
United States.
all I see is that crossbody off the top, and I'm like, yes, that's my guy right there.
That's the United States champion versus Stunning Steve Austin theme.
Woo! Those were fun. Remember that? The Dragon Slayer on the back of the tights. Me and Sean will get old school on you real quick. Don't make us. Those were great matches. Also had to drop it and say the Irish Sons intro low-key kind of go hard. These modern speakers we have now. Rob's doing a old watch back of Sons of Anarchy. I've been trying to do WCW 1999. I'm stuck at Starrcade. I can't even bring myself to start it. Hey, what about Samoa Joe playing Sweet Tooth in the Twisted Metal series? I have not watched it yet, but I've heard good things.
That's
you haven't checked.
No, that's about it. I've heard I haven't really checked it out, but I've heard good things as well.
For sure. I see some of you guys talking about some of the matches. 6 at Miss SummerSlam this year saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles instead. I actually showed my intern the other day the first, the second one. We might have to skip that third one from when I was a kid, but the first and second one. Big shout outs to the homie Kevin Nash for being Super Shredder. For those that didn't know that, in the second one.
That's a fact.
Every time I see it, bro, I'm always like, that's Nash, bro. So weird. It was Roman's longest main event as champ, 36 minutes. Man. Positively E in the house. Man, I got a lot of people popping in. Show us the bear belt. I don't have it up. I put that in the Everything Pro Wrestling group. There is a new belt that came out, and a bear is right on the front of it, Sean.
Nice.
Gotta love it. And we'll get into that. FTR Bucks 3 coming. Yeah. Sorry, no, it's off subject. No, you're fine. You guys can ask whatever, man. Skip the third one. Faux show. That's a fact. All right, let's get into SummerSlam a little bit. But first, I wanted to talk about one thing to get us into it, Sean. We've got some shakeups coming with the announcers, baby. Sounds like that Fox deal ain't happening. when these things happen, it's usually for a reason.
Right.
I don't know if you're happy about the switch. It sounds like Michael Cole is going to be on every show now. I don't know if that means a pay raise for him. But they are bringing Wade Barrett to Raw, and Michael Cole will be added to the Raw team of Corey Graves and Kevin Patrick on SmackDown. Seems like SmackDown got downgraded, is how I feel.
Well, first and foremost, let's acknowledge the elephant in the room that Corey Graves is full of crap, calling Michael Cole the greatest of all time. All right, he needs to kind of get off of that. That's just not true. He's not even, the second greatest of all time. Jim Ross and Gorilla Monsoon, if you want to talk about color guys, Jerry the King Lawler and Bobby the Brain Heenan, there's just nothing that compares to those guys, right? That being said, Michael Cole is very good. And I think that when you're talking about Kevin Patrick, who is not a bad kid, but there's just something lacking there, right? I'm glad he's not being let go. I'm glad he still has a job. It's not as egregious as something where I would say he needs to be let go. I don't think so. I don't think Byron Saxton was that bad where he needed to be let go, and I'm glad he still has a job, but he shouldn't even have been taken off the table. I didn't mind the dynamic that he brought to the table, but that's neither here nor there. It's been many months since that has happened. All the announcers in WWE, with the exception of Michael Cole, have limitations. That's just the bottom line. Corey Graves is very good, but he has limitations. Kevin Patrick needs to step it up. Wade Barrett is pretty good.
I want to ask you a follow-up question about Corey Graves. Did you feel Corey Graves was better before he got to the main roster? Like, did you like him in NXT?
I think NXT was his bread and butter, but I also think that when you have nothing, that even a little something seems amazing. And I think that Corey Graves being elevated was warranted, not because he's so great, but because WWE had serious limitations in the broadcast booth. So, again, just to finish my point, Kevin Patrick limitations, Wade Barrett limitations. I like them, but there's limitations, right? So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take those two announced teams, and we're going to have Michael Cole be a part of both. And hopefully Michael Cole, though not the greatest of all time, I think that's a ridiculous statement out of Corey Graves, but it is what it is, that Michael Cole will hopefully elevate those other guys to get them to a level where we can be a little bit more entertained, because it's a need. There's a need. And we'll see how it goes from there.
Right? Someone said it's a 3D bear. Ace, what's good, Ace? Appreciate you. He's on Twitch as well. I watched Collision last week, but this week Collision, CM, FTR better not win those trios titles. Why not? Why are all these limitations being placed on my people? FTR been crushing it. What do you want them to do? I don't think they're gonna win, but
a little bit out of control at this point.
The limitations?
No, you're seeing the writing on the wall. They're trying to give CM Punk the world, and it shouldn't be that way this soon. Let him prove himself a little bit.
The world? I don't think he's being given the world.
CM Punk didn't win that tournament because it would have been out of control for him to win that tournament. Okay, they made the right decision in that regard. CM Punk has been. I'm so tired of seeing CM Punk, and I like Phil Brooks. I'm so tired of seeing this guy get the red carpet laid out for him everywhere he goes, and he still hasn't proven to be a top tier professional yet. I mean, come on, bro. Like, let's be real. Like, he needs to step it up as it relates to being a top tier professional. I'm talking about reliable. I'm talking about not having a hot head. I'm talking about being able to get along with your coworkers. And at the end of the day, we're not talking about anybody but him right now. If you ask me about the Bucks, I'd say the same thing. If you ask me about Kenny Omega, I would say the same. Well, not really Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega wasn't really the problem. But at the end of the day, I heard Kenny Omega was the least of the issues here. I thought it was mostly Bucks and Paige.
I love that my facial expressions can tell the story.
But I know you can, right? So it is what it is. But anyway, at the end of the day, right? Just be a pro. And let's revisit this whole thing of you being world champion down the line. You know, that's all.
It's not.
I don't think I'm saying out of bounds.
He's not winning the world title. I don't know why people keep
world title, trios title. The only title you'd be happy to have right now is employee.
I think he is, though, Sean. He's been holding the backstage meetings.
I hope so.
Good reports have come out. He seems happy on that roster. He seems like, okay, if I'm here, then this is what I'm doing. I've got people who are going to listen, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know if they're catering that roster around him. Like, okay, let's get some like-minded folks over there who would enjoy. Like they just had that whole celebration for Dennis Condrey from the Midnight Express. Many other people would probably be like, who is that dude? You know what I mean? Some younger fans may say, who is that? But we know because we grew up on Midnight Express and all that stuff. But CM Punk has been doing some of the stuff. How long does it take for you to rehab your image? I don't know. He's been doing a good job, though. I thought that they did a great job putting Ricky over, even though he didn't win the match on Collision. Ricky Starks was chumping CM Punk when he tried to jump in the ring to make the save. Like, he got decked every time.
What I'm saying is that I don't, first of all, let me not misrepresent what's going on here. I've heard nothing but good reports, as have you, about CM Punk since he's been back, okay? What I'm saying is it's been a couple of weeks. So let's just see how it plays out moving forward. That's all I'm trying to say. I think it's fair from a managerial perspective to simply just let this thing play out a little bit longer. You know, you get tired of hitching your wagon to somebody who's not there after a certain amount of time. Let's just hope that he's locked in, remains professional as he has been since he's been back, and not allow his feathers to get ruffled if somebody rubs him the wrong way. You know how many times I want to punch people at my job in the face, but I don't, because I need a job. I got to pay my bills and feed my family, right? That's all.
I'll leave it at that. We can go on all day about this.
I mean, like I said, I don't think what I'm saying is that outlandish. I really don't.
It depends on how you view the other side, though, and what happened to him. I understand. I sympathize a little bit. Like, I would be annoyed, too, if someone started messing with. Here's the one thing I'll tell everybody in life. Do not mess with people's money. Business owner, person at a job, if someone finds out that you said something bad and got them fired, expect bad karma to come from that person if they ever find out. Forever. Like, you're done in their eyes. So
I've always told you, and then we will move on. I've always told you the biggest issue is not CM Punk. And the biggest issue is not the elite. The biggest issue is management.
And that plays into a lot of other issues. Kevin Patrick needs to be backstage reporter, not on commentary. I don't want to poo-poo on the guy, but yeah, he is not my favorite. Fox offered half, but ate the show ratings better. Things that make you go, I have a theory on that. I think a former president will just say, help them get that deal with Fox, and it turned out not to be worth what they paid for it. And I think they see it. Apparently, Michael Cole's being moved to call both shows was an Endeavor call. Okay, good for them. Some people like Michael Cole. Some people say he's been better lately. I think Michael Cole has his moments, but it's tough for me, man. It's tough for me. He doesn't have that like soundbite feel to him when I hear his voice. People forget WWE said they were going to start making cuts. Yes, those cuts will be coming sooner than people think. Let me see here. Corey Graves got to keep that paycheck coming. Corey Graves feels like he's playing hero announcer, watching Heenan and Ventura steal their lines. That don't make you great. Ooh, harsh.
No, I think you should be right on the head. Me and E don't agree on everything, but that's a solid statement he just made.
Michael Cole is the new voice of the WWE, and I'm okay with it. But people calling him the. I'm sorry, Sean.
Graves is a poser. I don't have a problem with Graves, but Graves is a poser.
Let's see. I'm okay with that too. People calling him the greatest. Never heard the OGs, but I understand if that's all they know. Cole was hurt during the main event. Cole was hurt. Did something happen to him? Did I miss it?
I don't know if he's trying to say Cole was hurt or did he sounded hurt.
Matt Lopez says, I say strap CMFTR. I don't think they need it, truthfully, in my opinion. CM Punk putting people up. You need to save that energy for Jericho up. Quill says, bring back Pat McAfee. They ain't got Pat McAfee money anymore. I'm sorry. Here he goes. We'll leave this because this conversation only gonna go sideways. Rafael De La Ghetto, aka Six, says, I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with Big Hub, but no matter how we feel, he's CM Punk. His past exploits have solidified him as one of the greats in the business, so he gets what he wants. Yeah, that's how pro wrestling works.
That's a sound assessment, Rafael De La Ghetto. That's a sound assessment.
There's no Bash at the Beach 2000 going on here, brother. I didn't agree with that. I said effects, brother. Ridiculous. Could you imagine being the judge in court hearing something about, he said something bad about Hulk Hogan, dude. Like, what? What am I doing? Judges hear this stuff. CM Punk's image is built up upon due to the backstage stories. People either like him or hate him. Yeah, he's got that kind of personality. Either you're going to love this dude or you're not going to like him.
No argument there, McKinney.
Endeavor needs to do drug testing. CM Punk's first feud with Samoa Joe ain't over yet. Yeah, that's the other thing we can get into real quick. I'll bring it up. I got it right here. One of the matches teased, Samoa Joe called out CM Punk on that show. Did a quick choke out of Serpentico, but said he wants CM Punk at All In. That's crazy to think about that these dudes wrestled on the indies and now they're going to wrestle in front of 70,000+, maybe more.
85.
That's crazy.
Full circle moment. I think this match is perfect for CM Punk. I would have been disappointed if he was the main event for reasons that I just talked about earlier, respectfully. But I think this is a perfect match for him. I think they'll tear the house down. Please stop doing that. And at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a good thing. I think Joe and Phil are going to tear the house down. I have full confidence in that.
Let's see. How cool is it for Ricky Steamboat to come out to that night? Man, I loved it, bro. I loved it. Ricky Steamboat took that whipping like a pro, too. Tokyo the Menace has joined us. What is going on, Tokyo? That's not going to work for me, brother. I'm going to say it. Who is Omega wrestling at Wembley? I've heard rumors it might be Takeshita, which I think will be a good match. Could be what launches Takeshita into a higher level, but we'll get into AEW momentarily. Let's talk SummerSlam. I want to get into Sean's thoughts with this. He had a lot about this show. I think we'll just go through each match, kind of quick blurbs, whatever we thought about him. Get into it. Ricochet versus Logan Paul. Logan Paul impressed once again. He delivered, in my opinion. I'm not the biggest fan of the guy, but I got to give credit where credit's due. He delivered, and I thought Ricochet did a great job as well. The only thing that hurt me about the whole thing was just, what do we do with Ricochet after this?
Logan Paul is a legit WWE superstar. I never thought I would say that. Dude has not missed since he's gotten here, and I have a lot of respect for him. I do think that he is crazy. He proved that he respects the business. I love the fact that he sat up here and said, you know what, I want to be there for my brother for the fight against Nate Diaz. So he didn't kind of like phone it in and say, you know what, let me not do SummerSlam. He did SummerSlam. I'm sure he negotiated having that be the first match, of course, right? But then he jumps into SEV. He jumps into SEV, didn't even shower, probably showered on the private jet to get there for. I like the guy. I don't have an issue with him.
Whoa. I have a question. There's showers on private jets?
I believe he showered on the private jet.
I don't know if when he walked off, I saw them same SummerSlam clothes on.
Oh, well, I thought that he showered on the private. There are certain private jets that have showers. Maybe he did not. I mean, maybe he showered when he got to the arena. I don't know.
Must have been Triple H's and not the CEOs.
Yeah, I thought he showered on the private jet, but that was standing. I have a lot of respect for him, and he respects the business, and that's the only thing I've ever asked of an outsider when they come in, is that they respect the business. I don't want it to be a situation where it's just a publicity stunt, where it's just a money grab. I want it to be where he actually gives a crap. Tokyo saying he was doing it. Okay, so he didn't shower. I thought he showered on the plane. He showered once he got to be with his brother. That being said, doesn't really matter. The bottom line is he proved himself. It was a great match, and he has a W, which I think he deserved after like 3 straight losses, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's lost every match since either last year's Mania or SummerSlam. I can't remember, but he's been on a bad losing streak, and they gave him the win. I guess we'll mention this now. We all saw Sonya Deville is injured. It's rumored to be her ACL, I believe. And yeah, everyone's saying the women's tag titles are cursed. I think they're going to be addressed tonight on Raw. John, do you just throw these things in the trash and just say forget it?
No. I respect women's wrestling to the point where I say give it one more try. I think though that you have to hit the next one out of the park, or then you might have to trash them. The women's tag team championships don't remind me of the 24/7 title. The 24/7 title was ill-advised from the start, and I rejoiced when it was almost thrown in the trash by oh my God, what's her name? I'm drawing a blank. Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
But in this case, no, I don't think you should trash them. I think you got to try one more time. I mean, you still have damage control. Maybe you can delay the breakup of the team and have them hold all the gold if the team is back together and healthy again, which is still up in the air. I think she just showed up just to support Io Sky. But either way, no. The answer they should not trash the titles yet, no.
Right. I hear you, McKinney. I have a response to that. Just remind me if I forget, I'll have to tell you privately. Gomar, what is good? Hope you guys are having a good day. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. I hope you are having a good day.
Likewise.
I don't think Logan Paul Ricochet feud is done yet. Ooh. So Matt thinks it's going to continue.
And M. Leezy's answer right there is a good answer to your question, which is what does Ricochet do next? Maybe they keep this thing going.
Right. Okay. Quills even said it was an athletic match, trash finish. Yeah, he won with the brass knucks. Serviceable match. Logan's a star. He should have put down King Ricochet a little faster based on presentation. Logan got that I lie, I cheat, I steal finish. He showered in his prime. Peace. Come on. SummerSlam last year, original Biggie said, was the last one. Sick got lyrics up for us. This will conclude at WrestleMania 40, but Ricochet needs to fire up attitude of I'm not taking no more crap, jumping out of the sky and punching people in the mouth. He needs something though.
I agree.
He's got to find it, man. This ain't I thought he was written well in Lucha Underground as Prince Puma, but they gotta find that quality that makes people love Ricochet. He's got a great moveset. In-ring is not the problem for him. It's the other stuff.
Ricochet is boring on the microphone. Let's call a spade a spade. And he needs to do better because it's actually really a shame. It's really a shame if this amazing athletic ability that he possesses goes down the drain because he's not good from an entertainment standpoint.
A lot of people advocating for Katana Chance and Caden Carter. I still struggle with those new names, y'all. If y'all ever hear me mess up.
I'm not feeling them at all, honestly.
All right, here we go, Sean. Adrenaline in my soul. Main event, Cody Rhodes. Do it all, baby, ball again. Whoa! All right, so Cody Rhodes and Brock went on second because Brock probably wanted to go on first, but he was like, "Yeah, go see your brother do his thing. Get me out of here as soon as possible." Right. Brock this is a paycheck, easily. I think we've all known that for years now.
100%.
Cody Rhodes crossroads Brock Lesnar out of his shorts in this one. He had 2 rips in it. Brock was dumping him on his head. How'd you feel about this one, Sean?
I'm gonna surprise you. I think the match was okay. I didn't have a problem with the match. I think Gamble and I were talking, and Quills and I were talking. The issue is not the match. The match actually came across halfway decent. The problem is the match itself being made was stupid. Like, the whole trilogy's stupid. That's number one. And number 2, the hug at the end makes no sense. So
I feel like this was supposed to be based off of respect, but they didn't do a good enough job telling that story throughout. And I think if you would have did that into the lead up of this would have made the moment even more meaningful. But once they did that, Brock Lesnar doesn't do that for everybody. And I thought that was really good as well. Like, once they did that moment, I was like, wow. And that, Sean, I'm going to tell you this right now. As soon as I saw that hand raise, the main event, I closed the book. I was like, I already know the result. There ain't no way. They told you right then and there. They let Brock Lesnar, the guy who doesn't like anybody, raise Cody Rhodes' hand. That was the stamp of approval right there for what they were trying to do. I thought it was all right. Is Cody going to be able to carry this momentum? Let's talk about that, I guess, for a second.
I guess. I mean, there's a level of disdain that I have for this entire thing, as we all know. Having a main event for WrestleMania outside of Rock, Cena, non-title, a year out is the most ridiculous crap I've ever heard and seen. The fact that WWE won't deviate if necessary is ridiculous. It's like a Mickey Mouse operation over there. It makes me sick to my stomach, and this Cody thing makes me sick. You're right. Brock Lesnar raising Cody's hand, you might as well say WrestleMania 40 lock-in, bottom line. Jay's not going to win. Nobody's going to win. So, it's just, like I said, it's same song, different verse. Cody's going to win the title at WrestleMania 40. We know that 4 months, 8 months in advance. And this is just another stop on the Cody Rhodes Championship tour. And how sad is that we invest our money, our time, and our emotions into something where we already know what's going to happen? Cody,
positively bringing up some AEW language right there, Sean. Typical Codyverse story. Haven't heard that since AEW days. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm going to give Cody his props, and I'm going to leave it at that tonight. I thought it was a good match. Cody still appears to be over. He's the guy. I just hope that everything goes according to plan because they've got some months ahead of them before that they can get to that. I think they got like what, 8 months? They got some time on their hands.
It's coming. It's coming. It doesn't really matter though. As long as he stays healthy, he's going to be champion in Philadelphia.
I saw someone mention the Kabuki Warriors. The rumor is Kairi Sane is WWE bound. We just don't know when. But yes, I saw that. Quill says Brock showed Cody respect after the match, which was a cool moment. Very odd and very surprising at the least. Yeah, they did some things here. Cody's robe was fire. Shout out to Sandra. Cody's shtick, corny as ever, though.
Thank you. I mean, is it just me? Obviously not. Thank you, E. I think it's by God, like it's ridiculous. It's like eating a mouthful of sugar. It's disgusting, bro. It's making my teeth rot.
Let's talk about something that's a little bit more fun. Maybe this will get you to liven up here. We got the Battle Royal, Slim Jim Battle Royal. They added a few other people in here. It brought up I saw some things in this that there were people that I was like, there's a lot of potential in this. And there were some people that I looked at, I'm like, I'm very disappointed in you. Like, it was very weird. But in the end, we got a little bit of a fun moment where it was like the 2K Royal Rumble type moment with the final three, AJ, LA Knight, Sheamus. LA Knight, gets the win. And he wins the Slim Jim Battle Royal. But I was impressed by Chad Gable picking up Big Bronson Reed. Chad could have dumped him on his head. Chad Gable needs a singles run, in my opinion. He's that dude.
I am very much a fan of Chad Gable. I'm a fan of all three, Gable and Otis. Along with Maxine, I think they're all great, and I think it should be highlighted by a Chad Gable run, and I think he's earned it. I have come over to that side of the fence, bro. Like I think the Alpha Academy is excellent right now.
Bro, I've been yelling this since he had the long hair in NXT. I'm like, this dude is good. I can see it. I can tell. You know how? He was funny in the backstage skits trying to recruit Jason Jordan. I was like, he's got the comedy gene, but he can also, I just want to see him do serious for one feud. Just serious. No jokes, no games. And I know WWE with the shorty G, he's small. Boo, I hated that. Like, this dude's good. Let him be good.
He's better than good. Chad Gable has had me change my thoughts. He is excellent.
What I'm saying, Sean, is he would be in my main event scene. I'm not saying he might not be the champ all the time. He's not my main focus, but he would be in that mix though.
I would have no problem
on Monday to get 20-minute matches.
I would have no problem WWE putting their machine behind Chad Gable, but then again, that would be a good idea. And you know what that means.
You know what that means. Get the shirt now, folks.
Cody you know what that means was coming. You probably thought it was coming a little bit later in the show, but I'll use it for Chad Gable. Chad Gable being a major player on Raw is a good idea, but you know what that means.
Can we talk about disappointments? Karrion Kross, bro.
Well,
I like Karrion Kross. Like, I want to like Karrion Kross. Something is missing, bro. Can I make a comparison? I hope people don't get mad at me for this. If you love Karrion Kross, forgive me. It's Mark Merrow, man. I'm getting Mark Merrow like feelings from this, where I'm like, dude, I know you're good. I've seen you do stuff in other places where I know you're good. Johnny B. Bad was great in WCW, but then when you came over as the Wild Man, it was like, what is this? Like, the focus was on Sable. You know what I mean? Like, Sable became the bigger star.
Let's think about this. Flashy entrance, hot blonde in your corner, pretty good in the ring, no charisma. Sounds like a fair comparison to me.
I just want to see him do more. And it's sad that AJ Styles is relegated to a battle royal too. Like, I was just like, what's AJ doing in here? You know? Doug said the crowd went nuts for the battle royal. I believe it. Listen, and I love the commercial they shot afterwards with Bianca and LA Knight in it.
Oh, that was fun. That made me smile with the Macho Man on the screen. That was wonderful.
Yeah, that was really cool that they got to do that. I'm pretty sure no one's getting those Macho Man deals now like that, where you can take it with you wherever you go, and it's to the character Macho Man and not the company. I don't think they do that stuff anymore, but it was good to have two of your top talents on there, so I wasn't mad at that. Someone said Omos should have won. Oh no. Oh no. No, no, no. No more Hogan and Sid eliminations, please. Yeah, the grabbing of the foot. No, brother, he cheated me, dude. No, you got eliminated fair and square. You're being a poor sport, Hogan. 92 Rumble still my favorite. All-time favorite Royal Rumble. Best commentary ever from Bobby the Brain Heenan.
I agree.
Chad Gable should be in the IC title feud. I like that. Chad Gable or Sheamus are my two picks to knock off the IC champion. There would have been a riot if LA Knight lost. Does the winner get something for this match? 6 said.
A lifetime supply of Slim Jims.
A commercial? I don't know. It took a battle royal for everyone's favorite LA Knight to win. They need to do something with that. I hope they do, Jocelyn. I hope they do.
Jocelyn, sounds like a good idea.
Wise and Gable backed by Kurt Angle and putting. I never understood why they put Kurt Angle with Jason Jordan and not Chad Gable, unless that was the twist to the story. We never got to find out. Only difference is Scarlett has absolutely no star appeal at this moment. Yeah, she can get there eventually, though. I think if you put her on screen and let her do some different things by herself, like I said, Karrion Kross he has to step it up, man. I know he could do this. Karrion Kross was better off doing indie shows. Yikes. Omos is the new losing Big Show. Ooh, I like Omos though on some real stuff. Like as a person, I think he's pretty cool.
Well, that makes one of us.
He's got personality in there, Sean. I've seen him like do some stuff on the outside where he's done like karaoke stuff. I'm like, show that, like let him be that on screen, but they don't do it. If anything, I will always praise WWE for their video package and ad placement. Hogan's a sore loser, dude. He is. He is. Horrible that night. All right, Sean, I'm gonna defer to you because you are the combat sports expert of the duo of us here. We had an MMA match with Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler. That kick, best part of the match. I'm not gonna lie, that was a good kick.
It's very difficult to do a combat sports fight in sports entertainment because you want to make it seem real, but yet it's not really all the way there. So I think Ronda and Shayna did the best they could with what they could do. If that makes any sense.
They should have did the fight pit.
Yeah, you're probably right. But either way, they did the best they could with what they had. I wasn't overly impressed because I don't think there was anything to be overly impressed about. You kind of knew it would be the lull of the night. You kind of knew it would be like the go get a drink or go to the bathroom match. Respectfully, I'm just being honest. And at the end of the day, that's kind of how it played out. And we also knew that Ronda would lose. So now we have to see what Shayna. I think the biggest part of this match is figuring out what's going to happen with Shayna moving forward. Can Shayna become a household name? Can Shayna step her game up and become a big name in the women's division? I mean, let's just take our current women's champion into consideration, right? Could we see Shayna one-on-one against Rhea or one-on-one against Io? Not yet, but hopefully soon.
Yeah. I think that Shayna has the ability to do it. I think WrestleMania 36, they lost their opportunity to do something with that as well. But we'll see. I like Shayna Baszler a lot. I followed her before she even got to WWE, so I'm a big fan. As far as Ronda goes, do you see Ronda getting back into the octagon? Is she going to just try and do movies, or do you think she's just done with all of this and she's just going to do a farm thing?
Take a few months to spend time with her family, and I think eventually she'll find her way back to UFC. And I say UFC specifically. I have a great respect for all MMA productions, MMA companies, Bellator, PFL, all these different places, and UFC. But I think UFC will be the destination. I think her and Dana White have a relationship. And I think that her biggest nemesis, Amanda Nunes, now retired, maybe there's a way for Ronda can get back into the scene, because the first match she has back in UFC, should she return, will be a main event. And it might be for the title. You never know.
I feel like it'll be her and Holly Holm. If they had to do it, you know what I mean?
Well, Holly Holmes is another ready-made storyline. That's a good job out of you, Conrad, because Holly Holmes, people forget she's the first person to beat Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, you can go back with it. Someone said Lions Den, don't waste my time with this match. Wrestling fans want wrestling too, I've always noticed. No matter what, when they try to do that stuff, even when AEW tried to do it with Jake Hager and Wardlow, I think the people just weren't feeling it. Wardlow did a Hurricanrana in it. You should have seen my face. I was like, bro, what?
What? The deal of Akebono versus Big Show are over.
Yeah. I'll jump 60 feet in the air and hit him with my leg drop. Book it, dude. We got a lot of Hogan comments. I cannot put up some of these comments as well. Yeah, we'll see what happens with it. There's a lot happening. Matt Lopez says I can see Ronda in UFC taking on Home. Yeah, that would probably be the next best thing that they could do. Let's talk about
that story sells itself.
Let's talk about the Intercontinental Championship match since we had mentioned it before. We have I almost called him Volta. It's Gunther versus Drew McIntyre. Yeah. This was a good match. It's just we knew the result, man. We knew. You got to give Gunther's got to break the Honky Tonk Man streak at this point, right? 30 days in. I would like to see a cameo from Honky Tonk Man if you could.
At this point, it's no question. He will end up becoming the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time, and I predict he'll lose it not long after that and set his sights on a World Championship.
I can see them taking this all the way even to like Survivor Series with this reign. Give him extra 2 months on it, then it's still something attainable for someone else to beat eventually. And Sean, do you know what bugs me?
Wow.
Yo, I know somebody else saw that big old bug fly on his face during this match. I would have been tight. He should have chopped that bug instead of Drew. Man, that thing was huge, man. I would have been tight. Detroit, what is this? What kind of bug is this? I've been studying this for a minute.
Let's take that down.
I had to add in some funny ones for it. You know what bugs me? Yo, Guy Will Gamble, all credit to him because he was the one who mentioned it to me. I didn't see that at first. And he said I was crying. I had to go back and watch it to see it. That was great. Oh my goodness. This was a banger. Honky needs to take that Walter chop. Honky Tonk Man go bust that guitar taking that shot. Come on now. It's supposed to be a work, fella. Come on. Man, you just want Gunther to take to break the streak because you hate Honky Tonk Man. I know the truth.
That's a fact, bro. Like you do hate Honky. I don't dislike Honky Tonk Man. You hate Honky. I don't know what he's ever done to make you dislike him.
It was them promos, man. Just sitting out there having to listen to Peggy Sue and all. Get this garbage off my screen right now.
Yo, WrestleMania 6, bro. And this is a fact. Look it up. The number 3 rated segment, I guess you'd have to call it a segment, of WrestleMania 6. The Honky Tonk Man and Greg Valentine singing their new song. Look that up. Look that up. Obviously, what was number 1 WrestleMania 6? Obviously.
You wanted to see the Hammer, and they were disappointed.
Obviously, Warrior and Hogan. And then number 2 was Demolition versus Colossal Connection for the World Tag Team Championship. The number 3, on a night that DiBiase and Jake Roberts had a really good match, on a night that Dusty Rhodes and Sapphire faced Macho King and Dusty Rhodes and Sapphire faced Macho King and Sensational Sherry. Honka 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 Burnin' Love, or Honka 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 Honky Love, was the 3rd highest segment of WrestleMania 6. Just saying. That's just a little bit of a nugget.
Shout out to Sherry as Peggy Sue, by the way, for those who didn't know that.
Well, she was Peggy Sue that night. He had 2 Peggy Sues.
What was she Peggy Sue at WrestleMania 5? Which WrestleMania was she Peggy Sue?
She was Peggy Sue at WrestleMania 4.
Okay. And you know who drove the pink Cadillac at WrestleMania 4? Jay-Z. No, I'm kidding.
My tattoos are looking fire today. I don't know why. I think it was my camera angle.
I didn't even know you had tattoos.
Yeah, my camera. I switched the camera angle. Like I'm doing more of a studio vibe.
Yeah. That's a deep dish bug if I ever saw it. Here you go. Welcome to Detroit, bug. I'll get that bug off his face. Let me just hit him with a big boot, brother.
Wow, Delegato's in his bag today, bro. Delegato's in his bag. I love it.
Honka honka burning love. Peggy Sue besides me, the colonel in the back. I'm coming to your town in a pink Cadillac.
Talk to this man, bro. That's what I'm talking about, E. Yo, see, you know what my problem is with you, Conrad? Amongst many. I'm starting to have a lot of problems with you, honestly, Conrad. But the biggest problem I have for you...
Get in line.
You claim to be a person that understands the entire realm of the business.
I can hate Honky Tonk Man, though. He did his job. I hate him. He's just bad.
Honky Tonk was outstanding as it relates to entertainment. He was so funny, bro. Like, I don't understand, like, what? Okay.
You know what it is, maybe? I never was an Elvis person. If you played an Elvis song and said, can you name this Elvis song? I couldn't probably do it for most of his catalog.
No, but what he did, it was an Elvis knockoff. That's what makes it awesome. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna ask you a quick question, and I'm gonna ask the chat too. My first question, probably my only question of the night. Honky Tonk, or according to the numbers, because I'm a research person, probably
or.
Huh?
Or.
All right, I'm about to give it to you. You're gonna say or, but watch this. Honky Tonk Man or Brutus the Barber Beefcake?
Oh, you can't do this to me.
Oh, I did it. I did it. Because Beefcake was over like Rover in those days, bro. But I will take Honky Tonk Man any day of the week over Beefcake.
You know what? I'm going to take Brother Brutai just because he had some funny moments. The Booty Man, dude. The Zodiac. And Barbershop Window, forever. One of my favorite moments ever on that.
Oh, okay.
Make sure you watch Marty Jannetty Dark Side of the Ring tomorrow. Free plug for you guys. I can only imagine the stories.
Give us a sponsorship, you cheapos.
Here we go. Honky Tonk Man or Gilbert? Gilbert.
Come on, bro.
Gilbert. Actually, Gilbert has trained some people I've interviewed on the pod before, so I can't be the man with no butcher.
He's Brother Butcher. That's who he is. What a loser.
The Dungeon of Doom 95 may be something that I have to put in our realm for us to review. Since I'm watching this 99, I need someone to suffer with me. Let's go back and watch the Dungeon of Doom. Try to end Hulkamania. Triple threat match for the Women's Championship. How'd you feel about this one, Sean? Because I got a mixed reaction. I had some people that I knew that were not feeling this. I had some people who did not like this match.
I'll tell you how I feel about it. I'm tired of seeing Bianca Belair lose in a minute at SummerSlam. That's something that kind of slid by people's.
I don't think that was malicious this time.
Well, okay, whatever. I don't trust them, but okay.
Well, I'll tell you why. Remember what we said last week, or at least I did. Who was the one person I said that probably shouldn't win this because she just had the title? They did the unexpected to try to fool us. Like, didn't see that coming, did you?
Or give it to her just for losing a minute. Something. Let me tell you something, Conrad. I'm done, bro. You thought I was playing with you when I called you after SummerSlam before I went live? You thought I was joking around? I am done. The only reason I'm watching WWE moving forward is to make sure that I'm prepared for our show. Come on, bro. Like it's a wrap, bro. WWE is so suspect, bro. No cap. They are OD suspect. Bianca now has lost in under 2 minutes at two SummerSlams. But to answer your original question, the match was really good. I think the 450 over the figure eight was outstanding. And if it had been anybody but Bianca, I would be fine with it. But Bianca has now lost twice at SummerSlam in under a minute. So I don't believe it's everything happens for a reason.
Doug is glad that Charlotte lost, and Jocelyn with probably the best comment so far on this match. Heavy sigh. It didn't happen, though, the way we thought it would. Bianca had the longest and shortest women's championship reign now. Ooh.
Guy understands.
Yeah. Io Sky. Bianca gets an extra reign for the career, but also they've been doing her dirty at SummerSlam consistently. You could, like I said, I think that it didn't matter who it was. Somebody was going to take that L that night. That's why I predicted, like I said, Money in the Bank cash is my final. Who's walking out with the belt? I said it's got to be Io at this point. And I'm happy for it.
Look. People know that I'm very sour on WWE. I try to be objective. The match was really good. But at the end of the day, that's 3 years in a row Bianca's been done dirty at SummerSlam. Or, excuse me, 2 out of the last 3 years, whatever you want to call it. Two championship losses on her resume in a Hall of Fame career under a minute.
Yeah. Jocelyn said, I did like all of their ring gear. So she was a fan of the gear that they rocked that night. McKinney said this was good, but it was too predictable. So as soon as you saw Bianca screaming for her knee to be hurt, me and Derek talked about this. Derek didn't like that she came all the way back down after being hurt. Then she was in a figure 4 and she's lasting in it, And some people will say it's the you got the guts. She hung in there. She was able to get the win with the roll up. Here's what I'll say. Out of all the people in this match who's been treated the worst, it's Asuka, clearly. Asuka, it was just an afterthought. And I don't know why they did what they did. I don't even know what the purpose of this gimmick change was, because she's acting like old Asuka again. I don't get it. It's ridiculous. Bianca got the win, and then just like McKinney said, you knew instantly the knees hurt. Here she comes. I did laugh when they gave Bayley the briefcase to hit Charlotte and the other people, so Bayley just had something to do. And then they reunited, and it was the 1 year anniversary, Sean, as we talked about previously, with Damage Control.
Yeah, and by the way, I was right about 3 years in a row being done dirty at SummerSlam, because she won last year at SummerSlam, but in winning at SummerSlam, she had her moment interrupted by Damage Control.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 3 years in a row. So the first year, she beats Carmella because Carmella should have never been there in the first place. Becky Lynch beats her in 30 seconds. The following year, she wins the match, gets her celebration interrupted by Damage Control. And this year, she loses to the Money in the Bank winner in 30 seconds after winning the title. So, I don't know. Seems like a trend to me. Maybe I'm bugging.
Yeah, Jocelyn, I agree. Bayley laughing while running with Io was gold. They upstaged her big win last year with the debut. Yep. Guy will gamble, and you are on point with that. Io winning. I love it. Don't like it was at Bianca's expense. Would you have rather had Charlotte get another reign, though?
I would have rather seen Asuka retain the title and then have Io cash in.
That's what I thought was going to happen. I thought Asuka was going to be the one to retain, but with WWE, you got to go how do you think they're going to book it? So I was off on my prediction who would win this match, but
there's only one way that this would make sense to me, bro. With the way Bianca's being treated, if this leads to Bianca flying off the handle and spazzing out on the company and joining the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley, that's the only way any of this would be okay with me.
More on that later too, as our second topic. We haven't even gotten into that yet. Asuka pretty. I was about to say, y'all talking about Bianca. Asuka's the one that's truly been getting bad booking wise. Yeah. They low-key gave us the kind of gimmick, and then she went right back to being Asuka, man.
Oh, there you go. There you go. What Pulser said, right there.
Bianca Belair needed to go over the edge after this. I think she will, though, because she was arguing, and she's been mistreated throughout this. She's telling Adam Pearce, yo, why don't I get a rematch? Everyone else does. Why aren't you respecting me? He kept pushing her to the back.
I don't want to go too deep, but we know that we go deep on this show sometimes. I think our watchers, our viewers appreciate when we go deep. The symbolism, bro. The symbolism of the 3 straight SummerSlams. The symbolism of Charlotte Flair saying, I get to cut in line, and there's nothing you can do about it. You got to be real careful, bro. You got to be real careful. And WWE's track record is not good. Don't make me have to go back to Kofi Kingston 2019. Bobby Lashley wasn't even on WrestleMania this year. Come on, bro. Like let's just kind of like, let's be real for a second, right? Like it's not like I'm fishing for straws here. Like there's significant stuff, thank you possibly E, Booker T, Triple H, that was the most egregious of all of them. So thank you for bringing that up, E. Come on, Conrad. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know you're trying to be your normal self, which I respect. You keep this thing real professional, bro. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like, come on, man. Like Charlotte said to Bianca's face, I can cut you in line whenever I want. Really? Is that what we're real? Are you sure that's the right thing you want to say on national television? Really? I'm just saying.
I think they were looking for that Karen heat, though. I just don't. You know how it goes. Because if you don't follow through, it looks bad. Because it looks
well. And Conrad, and I know I'm preaching to the choir here. I thank E for bringing it up. You know something? The comment Triple H made about Booker T, all you do is dance and make me laugh. Maybe it would have been. Matter of fact, I take that back. It would have been bad regardless. But maybe if Booker T had won at WrestleMania, we could have went. But not only do you get all you do is dance and shuck and jive and make me laugh, and then you lose. Come on, bro. See, you got me started. Now you know this subject really gets me going, bro.
Oh, listen, we got a bunch to get into that are going to get you going. The fact that Kyrie is coming back tells you they're slowly moving past Bianca. I don't see it that way, Jocelyn. I think Kyrie's going to come back and they're going to make her play her penance because she did boogie out on them and went back to wrestle for Stardom. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to treat her upon her return. I'm happy for Kyrie. I thought she was great. Maybe they'll try to do her and Asuka again. They might have been the most successful tag team champions. No, they might be number 2 now. Bayley and Sasha did have a good second run, but they're up there for like one of the better women's tag teams they put together for it. I can't really say too much. So listen,
I just want to acknowledge something else too about with Conrad and myself. Conrad, kind of called me out in a brotherly way about my energy being down. My energy's up. I'm fired up about this show, but there's a much more serious tone to this show for me because we're coming off the heels of a very controversial SummerSlam. We're coming off the heels of what I think is another bad look for Bianca Belair and what they've done to her. And it's like, at the end of the day, man, like, just because I'm not laughing and joking and stuff, y'all know me, man. Like, I love to have a good time. But when stuff gets real, bro, you know me. When stuff gets real, I turn it up a notch. And WWE, they need to do better, bro. That's just the bottom line. They need to do better.
I can't help but laugh at the chat right now. This Hogan slander is terrible tonight. And it's deserved. He said Hogan had to answer for that Triple H at Backlash. Politic this, brother. I don't care about your injury. Like, I'm taking the strap, dude. The yappa pie. All right, I gotta stop. We can do Hogan jokes all day. Triple H wants that through. Hi, we're Crime Time, and our gimmick is we rob. Lordy, I can't read that.
No, don't scroll over that so fast, bro. I know you're trying to keep. Rafael Della. I'm gonna read it nice and slow. Hi, we're Crime Time, and our gimmick is to rob, steal, and wear outdated FUBU attire, even for that time. Brooklyn, we're bringing the hood to you. By the way, come on, bro. Come on! This is ridiculous. Thank you, Rafael Della Ghetto. Thank you, Positively Eat. Thank you, Quills. Thank you, M. Leezy for Sheezy. Let's start.
Time out. I just want to let y'all know why I tap dance around these.
We're not doing anything wrong. We're not doing anything wrong on this show by pointing out the truth.
Sean, we know we're not doing anything wrong. Other people will be like, I don't want my ad on that video. So that's why I'm like, I gotta be careful.
I'm a chill.
Gotta be careful. But there's no lies said. Read my comment about African American superstars. WWE, treat your African-American superstars better before they all end up leaving like Trinity and Mercedes did. Yeah, we talked about that a long time ago. They fumbled the bag big time there. One day that's gonna be a shoot interview. We're all gonna have to wait to see.
That has Dark Side of the Ring written all over it.
Time out. FUBU attire never outdated. Oh, it's outdated.
Guy, you're my guy. No pun intended, but FUBU is
Yeah, and there's no better name than the Street Profits. I'm just saying. Hey, yeah, but outdated. Bet you ain't wearing it outside.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's true. That's a good point,
forever.
But I want Doug to answer this too in his next comment. But WWE does it like off the rails, though, bro. Matter of fact, yes or no, chat, and I really want everybody in the chat to answer yes or no, and then we're gonna move on. And I'm using the word please, yes or no. Is there anything more disrespectful in the history of the sport than Triple H's comment to Booker T on Raw in 2003? Yes or no? That's all and we'll move on from there. Go ahead.
That's salty, those comments. The golden era was all about jobs, but any person of color is a stereotype. Go back and look. Who's still wearing FUBU? Not me, bro. Not me.
Yeah.
Shoot. I got a hard time if you try to put on a Rockaware tee nowadays. They're like, it's got to go, bro. It's got to go. McKinney says yes. Quill said boo-foo. I was waiting for someone to say it because I always make that joke too. I can't think of anyone unless you think Piper. Whoa.
Ooh, I didn't even think of that one.
See, things I can't say on the stream. This is why I got to catch myself, Sean.
No, I didn't even think that's a good catch. I didn't think of that.
Booker T ran into the game. That's true. Y'all hating on FUBU. No, we're not hating on FUBU. I'm just letting you know. You can wear it. You can wear it, but just don't say we didn't warn you. That's all I'm saying.
Not in 2023 and not in 2013. It's been out of style for a long time.
Yeah,
shout
for a
shout out to Damon John. Look, we'll wear FUBU if Damon John wants to sponsor the show.
Yeah, sure. Damon, how you doing? It's positively he said it's okay, CJ. HBK had the answer for Hogan too. Sean, we'll talk about that one day. That's one of the funniest matches ever.
I like E's comments tonight. He's on fire today. I like
it. Triple H talking to Booker T like that deserved a whooping like what happened in Alabama this past weekend.
Yeah. And Leezy for Sheezy. I love it, brother.
Come outside of some FUBU in 2023 if you want to. We'll turn into Fly Guy from I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. Y'all know the scene.
Wow, I love it.
What about Boo-Foo? By us. You gotta chill. Yeah, Piper, bad news. I don't even know what they were thinking. Even as like kids, I remember people were like, what is this?
What's going on here?
Yeah, what are we doing here? Bruv. Let's get in the main event, bro.
Oh, God.
I'm going to give you the floor. It's yours.
Well, WWE sucks. All right. So here's the deal. We all knew that Jay was going to lose. I hoped that would not happen, but by the time we got to our home, to our go home show for SummerSlam, I came around and I acknowledged the truth that Jay was going to lose. Okay. What?
Let me help out here. Roman Reigns came out and he was ready for his big match. He looked across at his cousin, and they knew they were going to put on a great match with each other. Things were triumphant. We know they said there would be no interference from anybody. That was a lie. No family members were allowed at ringside. That was a lie. It was all a lie. So I don't know what they were doing. They made some very bad choices here.
I just don't understand. Like, of all the worst things.
There you go.
Like, anything could have led to Jay losing this match. We knew. I'm not a fool. I knew that Jay was going to lose. The whole world knew that Jay was going to lose. But of all the reasons, like, why? Why would Jimmy Uso turn on his brother? And I'm talking real talk right now, bro. I'm not talking about my fandom for the Usos. We all know that I'm a major fan of Jimmy and Jay. I'm talking about the advancement of the storyline, Conrad and chat. What purpose does it serve for Jimmy to turn on Jay at this stage? It makes no sense at all. It makes no sense at all, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody, I beg you with you want to see me get emotional and fire? I beg you, anyone, Conrad, Emleezy, Jocelyn, Gamble, Quills, Doug, E, anyone, please explain to me why Jimmy would turn on Jay in this situation. I know that they want to fight each other at WrestleMania one day. Are their careers about to be over? Are they retiring this year? No. And even if it was going to happen at WrestleMania is 8 months away. Why? Why would Jimmy Uso, in the progression of the storyline, why the hell would you have Jimmy Uso, who has been in the trenches with his brother for the entire time, turn on Jay when he's about to win the title? It makes, as we progress down the road in this storyline and look over the past 3 years of this never-ending saga of the bloodline, what in God's name would be the reason? What in the name of sweet baby Jesus would be the reason why Jimmy would turn on Jay? It makes no sense. I'm going to wrap it up. This is not about me wanting to see Jay win the championship. This is not about me being the number one fan of the Usos. I have completely pushed that to the side. I am talking strictly from a storyline perspective. Why would this happen?
I know we did skip over Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. Yeah, that match. Seth won. Little stuff with the briefcase afterwards. We'll get into it. I'm sure you guys will see the fallout on Raw tonight. They left it open for how you want to interpret that with Priest and Finn and how they're going to move forward. This match, I have no idea why they thought that was the right way to go, but I'm going to mix kayfabe and not kayfabe into this.
Give it to me, Conrad.
I think a lot of people are going to want to get what they want out of this Roman Reigns thing. I don't know if you heard a lot of the interviews from the media, but there was, how do I want to put this? There was a lot of, Rob just mentioned jealousy. I don't know if it was jealousy with other people, and I know you're talking about towards the storyline, but Sheamus mentioned, like, I wish I was getting the time that Roman stories got to tell my story. For, even if it's for the
Intercontinental.
Oh. People would like that stuff, and they're not giving it to them. But Jey Uso's been part of one of the number one stories, and he's been part of the reason why it worked. I'm sure they went to him and said, well, what do you want? Because we can't have you keep the tag titles anymore. That's kind of ran its course. What do you want to do? And he was like, well, me and my brother have always dreamed of having a match with each other at WrestleMania. Can you give me that? And I'm sure that was said, and they were like, yeah, we could do that. That sounds like a big enough match because of how we built Roman up. Sure, no problem. And they gave it to him. Now, storyline-wise, I don't think anyone wanted to see the Usos split up because you do this with every single tag team, no matter what. You've done it with DIY. You did it with the Rockers. You've done it with everybody. The only time
they didn't do it, Conrad, is they finally did not do it with the New Day when Kofi was going for the championship. That's the only time I remember they didn't do it.
And that's because they stayed 10 toes down and said, no, I'm not letting you do this.
No, what I want, you're educating me now. Are you telling me that was, they said no?
Yes, it's been suggested that members of the New Day turn on each other, and they've always said no.
Wow, we don't think it's good. You just taught me something. So WWE was trying to screw that up too. Wow.
New Day and the Hart Foundation are the only two that I don't think I can ever recall seeing like get into a fight or anything. And I'm talking about Brett and Anvil, OG Hart Foundation. Can they spin this? They can make it happen. They can make it happen. Rob's bringing up some points here. Hold on. We'll get into this. I want to get to the comments of the people because they know how you feel.
Of course.
McKinney says, as much as I hated that finish, I've played the moves out in my head, and this is the only one way to expand the story, just like the Infinity War. We're in the long game now. We got to ride it out. That's real tough with WWE to say ride it out, though, because WWE knows when the Bloodline story ends and Cody wins in Philly, everything goes back to the same. You can at me if you want. You know I'm right. Woo, original Biggie came with some fire there.
Well, I didn't. What do you say?
Someone, I don't know if she's saying Jesus or Jesus has nothing to do with the writing.
No, she said Jocelyn. Jocelyn.
That was back during your rant. Okay.
No, during my rant. Yes, I know.
Doug said,
everybody knows I love Jesus. Don't do that to me, Jocelyn. You know I'm just.
Doug said, I did it for The Rock.
Wow.
Sean, you want an explanation? Here it is. WWE loves doing brother feuds. Brett and Owen, Matt and Jeff, hell, fake brothers, even Taker and Kane. Judgment Day is collapsing like the Bloodline storyline. Judgment Day thing with booty. Why break up a good thing? I think they don't know what they want to do with Judgment Day. I don't know if you want to add to Judgment Day.
I think Judgment Day's on fire right now, and I think they're going to blow it. I think that this is a silly decision.
Yeah. Finn Balor and Finn and I think it's supposed to be argued up the entranceway. Yeah, that they'll get into that tonight, I think. Jay was also going for the title of Tribal Chief. Maybe Jimmy felt he was ending a cycle for the greater good.
It's a good theory.
It happened so that you could tune in to Raw and SmackDown and find out why Jimmy did what he did. Either way, I'm down for a brother versus brother match. Super kick party.
I hear you.
How about Sheamus have better stories, though? Guy Will Campbell said. He doesn't get to pick them, though. He doesn't get to write them. No. The New Day fought to not break up. That is a fact. The New Days haven't split up into a feud yet in Street Profits. Yeah, and we heard some rumors Big E might not be returning to the ring as well. I still think Big E's going to have another match. I don't know when, where, why, how, but I think that I can see him moving into a commentary role or something like that if they wanted him to. How y'all so sure Cody is beating Reigns in Philly? Bruh, they're telling you the story. WWE doesn't let people get certain things, and I've told Sean, and this is the last time I'm lying. I'm going to always say this. They want people from AEW to come over. They are watching, how is Cody being treated? Cody is the front man. He knew this. He's the first guy who did it. They're watching how he's being treated. If Cody does not get the belt, you don't respect us, you're going to treat us like that? I'm not coming over there no matter what. You could offer me whatever. I'm not going over there because you're going to try to embarrass me and end my career and then fire me, and then I got nothing else to go for. People have done it. Trust me. People have made mistakes. DDP regrets probably signing that deal with WWE when he gave up the WCW guaranteed money, and look at how they treated him. He was the European champion a year later. Why do that to DDP? You could have had a main eventer on your hands and you chose not to? What? Makes no sense. They can do these types of things with people. I don't know. I don't know when it comes down to it. Cody's got to win the belt. That's how confident I am in it now.
As much as I don't want him to win, it's like now he has to, or this. But then again, like, are we saying that the reason why? Because that's what I'm saying. I think you're saying the same thing. Are we saying that Cody has to win because that's the only thing that makes sense? At the end of the day, WWE doesn't do anything that makes sense. Come on, bro. Like, this is like at this point, Roman might win at WrestleMania 40. At this point,
but you can't do that.
Yeah,
you can't, because then. What's it gonna tell? You want MJF one day, right?
No,
whoever they want. I'm
100% right, bro. Everything you're saying is spot on. I'm just trying to say, for all I know, WWE might screw this up too.
They could. Let me see here. Blinky, you missed it. JD Madonna was in that battle royal. Tribal combat. No one interferes. Lies. Jimmy saving his brother from the evil tribal chief makes the littlest of sense, so I'll roll with that. Biggie do a commentary for two big men fighting, meaty men slapping meat. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Also, this story officially jumped the shark for me, and this also could have been done without the title. Cody should have won at last Mania. I kind of will stand by that as well, BJ. They should have just did it if they were going to do it. I agree, but I think they also know and fear. Sorry, something is flying in here. That
I thought you were giving the Samoan Spike or something.
I don't understand why they have to drag this story out, because this is the best thing they got going. The ratings are up. The real fear is what happens when this is gone. What happens when you belt Cody? Now what? And that's what everyone's going to say that night. Now what? So we'll see what they can do, because I feel like Cody's ran through a lot of matches for himself too. Like, who are you going to defend the belt against? Unless they get some new people up real quick. If it isn't due to jealousy, why Jimmy Uso turned? Make it make sense, WWE, like Sean Shirt says. Then now get it together, WWE. Not the WWE Universal Undisputed 3-Belt Championship. Let's book it. Ultimate brother versus brother feud. Hogan versus Hogan in a strap match, brother. It's gonna be great with politics left and right, dude.
Terrible. Guys, I want to thank you for taking this ride with me. I'm not gonna lie, and I think it's important for you guys to hear me out on this one. You guys have taken this ride with me with the Jey Uso thing, with the Usos in general, since January. I'm done. I'm done. I'm obviously going to watch for the benefit of the show, and, I take what me and Conrad do very seriously. I love you guys, hanging out with you guys. We're going to continue keeping this train moving, but as far as my investment in the bloodline and the storyline, I just can't do it anymore, Conrad. I can't do it.
I get it. I do believe that there was only the new belt on Saturday, and if not, it's a rib on Heyman. Yeah, I think they're gonna have him stop carrying all those belts for that. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see what they're gonna.
Chat, are you guys still after the Jimmy turn? Are you guys still invested? Like maybe I'm in the minority. I don't know.
I saw some people that seem like they're gonna try and rock with it, and I see a couple other people said they feel like it jumped the shark. Yeah. Like, it's over. Roman versus Solo versus Jimmy versus Jay at Payback. I already see it. I can see that happening too with the mishaps that occurred. And maybe Roman thinks that Jimmy's cool with him, but he's not. Like, he goes out, he's like, yeah, welcome back to the family. And then, he super kicks him still.
I mean, is there a chance that oh my God.
I told you that four-way was coming.
That's exactly but I'm talking about something else that you said. You said they're all going to get back together.
I think so, before Mania.
Wow.
There is time. Listen, we should have just did a SummerSlam review. But listen, let's get into these other topics real quick, Sean. Sean brought this one up, and I really wanted to talk about it. He wanted to talk about Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits joining together. Now, no Carmelo and Trick just yet. But
while you're talking about that, BJ, feel free. We're all ears and all eyes. Go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead. Give your thoughts on this group here, Sean. You wanted to bring this up.
I love it, and I'll love it even more once Bianca Belair joins, hopefully. And I think that it can be a power group, and I do not think it would be overkill. Add Mello and Trick. Melo, Trick, Bianca. I think this is a power group. I'm talking World Tag Team Championships. I'm talking United States Championships. I'm talking maybe bring the NXT title with Melo. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it.
The crazy thing with Melo and Trick.
I don't sense. Right. Go ahead.
No. Melo and Trick right now, though, are doing a storyline where Trick feels like he has to do stuff on his own.
Yeah, but
But
Trick said that he wasn't. Now, not that Sean, like I shouldn't get myself up. But Trick said that he wasn't angry with Melo.
Right. It's kind of like they're moving them away from each other, but I don't know if it's meant for them to come back. Listen,
right.
Put them all a part of this. Like, this could work great. Stylish. It works. It kind of gives off this. I'm trying to think of a nice way. You had a nice phrase for it last week. They have a nice presence about them, you know, and they're all rocking the suits. You could do something with this. But you put Bianca Belair in all black with sunglasses, standing there with her arms crossed. Oh my God. There's something here for it. Let's get to the comments real quick. These the real G's. The business, somebody said. Am I still feeling the storyline? 6 says, yeah. I mean, love it or hate it, it's still the best story in wrestling, and WWE is going to milk the cow dry.
Yeah, Rafael Delegato, bone dry, my brother, bone dry.
I'm loving the Profits and Lashley group. All is needed is Bianca and Trick Melo game.
Let me tell you something. Emily for Sheezy is on point, baby. Let's go.
EPMD, we back in business, Guy Will Gamble said.
I like that gamble.
Will says Bobby Lashley and Street Profits equals money. Add Carmelo and Trick and especially Bianca Belair, and this equals money. You just got to push him. This Trick proves that he wants to be a champion on his own. I could see it. Maybe Trick's the one to dethrone.
Coming up, keep going through all the comments progressively, but when you get to Doug's, I love what Doug just said. Oh my God. Okay.
I currently play a popular MMO that's about a decade old for its fan base is stuck in this let it play out and they aren't doing it justice mentality. A suspicion that they are moving on from this game for another, but they don't want to kill their energy in fandom now. So they are slowly choking things out, then citing the lack of player engagement with things causing them to move. Okay. Interesting, BJ. I can see them putting Trick in, but not Melo directly.
Wow. So Trick gets the nod and Melo gets, okay, all right.
Trick said that he didn't want to be known as Melo's sidekick.
He wouldn't have to be if he joined. Well, I guess. I hear what you're saying.
Street business, Doug says.
I like that a lot.
Also, Melo's about to feud with Wes Lee.
Stupid. You're right, Gamble, but that's stupid.
Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams are baby faces at NXT, so that ain't gonna work. You could change that real quick, though. You could probably have a 4-way dance with everyone in the bloodline, split it up into 2 nights of WrestleMania, have Roman win at night 1, then have Cody win at night 2. Trick dethrone Dirty Dom. I could see that. I think WWE is doing this with the bloodline story, slowly killing it off so that they can still get people watching, but they are done and running on fumes. All these Hurt Business ideas sound like good ideas. You know what that means.
That's right,
Street
man.
business.
Oh my God.
I love it. Came up with that line at the meet and greet. The guy behind me said the Hurt Profits, and I was like, Street Business was better. If they the new Hurt Business, and then comes Hit Row gotta go. We tried, it didn't work. Let them go.
I want to touch on Gamble's comment. I know he said it in good fun, but let me tell you something. WWE is just the type of organization where all of a sudden, right when everything gets going, all of a sudden, for some reason, Montez Ford doesn't like something that his partner said, and then all of a sudden Bobby Lashley they'll blow it up before it even gets started.
I hope not.
Idiots.
I hope not. But you're probably right. Jacqueline says, knowing that Fox isn't re-signing with WWE, I feel like they'll end the bloodline story and then restart it after whoever the new deal will be with.
Has anybody, listen, before you go to the next comment, has anybody really come to the real, including you, Conrad? We're thinking so much about the bloodline, right? Me included, but let's take a second. Let's just take a second, guys. Have we not come to the realization of the tragedy that just took place? The Usos there's no more Usos. Like, this is a freaking tragedy, bro.
That's one of the issues with the tag division with Cammy. I almost said Cammy and Kevin. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. There we go. I'm trying to mix their names. This is one of the issues that they're having, though. They faced all the tag teams. You need new teams. Honestly, the best thing for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn would be for DIY to reunite and you let them go on like a 7-match series. Maybe you don't have to say that's what you're doing, but you just let these guys go out and work for a while because you can't take some of the other teams seriously anymore. They've got the belts. I don't know what to do with this tag division, but you're messing up. I'm more curious as to who do you guys see Fox signing with? And that might be something SmackDown signing with since Fox isn't in the picture anymore.
Probably USA.
But they got rid of it before. They had it.
That's true. You're right.
So who's going to want SmackDown? I feel like this might be the beginning of the streaming era. This might go to Amazon. This might go to Netflix. Rumor has it that Turner has Raw and I think it's Raw and SmackDown playing in another country in one of the properties they own. Is Warner Brothers Discovery in the media to try to get more wrestling on their channels? I don't know.
I don't know either, bro.
And are they forbidden from doing it? Did Tony Khan open the forbidden door for that? I don't know. Who knows? But
wow, I know guys being funny, but that would be hilariously good. Wow.
Straight comedy, though.
Wow, that would be so cool.
Yeah, great idea. So knowing WWE, they wouldn't do.
You know what that means?
The bloodline is dead. KO is injured. E says ESPN. I can't see them picking it up. They got a hard enough time covering all the sports they need to cover.
Facts.
WWE doesn't care about legitimate tag teams seriously either. Judgment Day is winning the tag belts tonight to keep them together because of the world title tension. I'm calling it now. Who's SmackDown going to? The mouse in the house. Oh, boy. See, I knew what you were doing. Disney, he's saying, could take it. That's true. NBC or another Comcast channel.
That makes a lot of sense.
Chad Gable yelling, I am not a nugget. NBC, I don't know. ESPN is dead. Interesting. And let's get into All In real quick.
I'll tell you what's not interesting. Oh, here we go.
Was that where you were going?
Yeah, you just did it too fast. Like, and speaking of something not interesting, AEW All In.
I disagree. I'm gonna disagree with this.
Oh my God. What a letdown so far. Good Lord.
Are you let down by the matches made? Like, when you said there was no build to this, so we talked about this beforehand. When you said there was no build, I was like, there's build. It's just they don't spell out the matches for you right away because I would hope people see it. Like,
Conrad, you have to think about what we talked about 6 months ago. We've been on top of this since day one. Did we or did we not agree that this needs to be the biggest match in AEW history? I mean, biggest show in AEW history?
Yeah.
Is it going to be the biggest show in AEW history?
Still pending. I think that you know how the bloodline is WWE's cash cow. Do you want to know what AEW's cash? See, no, you brought up that honky tonk man BS before. Now I'm coming with the BS. You ready? You want to know what's the money making angle right now in AEW, in my opinion?
Oh, sweet.
MJF and Adam Cole. People did not want. They wanted them to beat FTR. I thought people were bugging. I'm like, no, you can't do that. There's no way. This has to be the singles match. And they still haven't teased who's turning. Someone's going to turn on someone. There's a lot of mystery games going on behind the scene. Adam Cole's old friends are like, yeah, Roddy.
No, I'm not letting you get away with this, Conrad. No. I'm not going to let you slide on this because for somebody...
Go ahead. I'm ready to battle.
A bunch of crap what you're saying right now, my brother. This is garbage.
Wait a minute. That's not the highest...
No.
Wait. Refute my statement first. Is this not the highest drawing angle in AEW right now?
Irrefutable. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that we said and we agreed that this pay-per-view needs to be the biggest in the history of the company. And we talked about matches like CM Punk versus Kenny Omega. We talked about matches like Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega. Will Ospreay versus Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley versus Kenny Omega. Whatever combination, we all pretty much agreed that Omega was probably going to be the guy. And our main event, and they announced the main event of All In front of 85,000 people is going to be MJF versus Adam Cole. Do you not think that misses the mark? Come on, man.
I think for right now, if you would have told me that when we originally talked about it, yes, that misses the mark. But right now,
what's changed? Because they're talking about double clotheslines? Is it that good to you?
But the people are into it, Sean. I watched the ratings for this.
I can't believe you're talking like this, man.
I have to tell you this.
This is a major letdown.
What other match were you going to give MJF?
MJF should be on the undercard of this pay-per-view. We agreed on this. What has changed your mind about this situation?
It's evident. You're not going to get...
Conrad,
put up the graphic. You're not getting this.
Conrad, we vehemently agreed on this. We were 100% that MJF should not be the main event of this show.
But Sean, when the cards are given to you, if they say they're not doing it, and Tony, so this is what we're about to get into. This is all X factors on the outside. You have to sign the elite.
Go back on what you said, bro.
Yes, you can, bro. What were you going to do to sign the elite? Were you going to let Kenny Omega, Hangman Page, and the Bucks walk? You were going to let 4 people walk out on your company like that?
No.
That they were threatening them. They said we're all going to work together. No matter what. So
no, the answer is no.
So, because if not, there goes all your matches anyway. So Tony's looking at this. He's like, well, what do I have to do to sign this? Blah, 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 blah. I don't know what they asked for, but apparently CM Punk was not in there for it. They didn't want to do this match. Why? I don't know. Maybe Tony feels like they have to talk first. Maybe Tony feels like he has to fix it.
I want you to address what we talked about. You and I agreed on this show that MJF, for a show of this magnitude, MJF should not be the main event. That AEW should put together a dream match where MJF would be the co-main event. We agreed on this.
They don't have Goldberg. They don't have. They obviously
Goldberg.
They don't have.
Crap about Goldberg. I'm talking about Kenny Omega.
Who was he gonna fight then? What would you have done with MJF?
What? I don't understand what's going on in your brain right now. What has changed so much? We had a conversation about this, Conrad, and if you want me to remind you of what we said, I will remind you of what we said. We said MJF should.
But you're missing what I'm saying. These guys are over. These people wanted them to win the tag title. I don't think it was supposed to go this far. I really don't. That merch was the #1 merch seller. I don't know why. I can't tell you why. It's not my choice. But when I see money, I'm like, yo, that's the match. They want this.
This is WrestleMania. I feel like I'm repeating myself. I feel like I'm going back in time 5 months when we first started talking about this. This is WrestleMania 3. This is WrestleMania 17. This is the biggest show in the history of the company. You and I sat here right on this show and said, at the end of the day, MJF does not have enough star power. As wonderful as he is, MJF defending, the AEW World Championship on this particular show is not enough for the magnitude of this show. And now you're going to tell me after a month and a half of them going back and forth on having these silly promos, entertaining as they may be, now you believe that Adam Cole versus MJF should be the main event of Wembley Stadium?
I'm saying that's the best match for MJF. They're not doing Punk. So you tell me, someone tell me then why the elite match isn't happening. Someone tell me that.
Well, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
If they said no, we don't feel safe working with him, whatever, what were you going to do? Let me
ask you a different question. Maybe this will make more sense to you if I ask you like this. MJF, Adam Cole, main event, everything else less than main event, just by definition, main event, less than main event. Is this show what we said it needed to be?
No, you could have done. There's bigger
matches. So what are we arguing? My argument is simply that they dropped the ball, and you're saying they didn't drop the ball.
With the bill. So here's what I'm saying. If this this is going to go back to the other thing. They have handed you a lemon, Sean. What are you going to do now? It doesn't matter. 80,000 seats are sold. What are you going to put on so that people are talking about this? The best thing you could do is, all right, well, we got MJF and Cole.
Wrong.
Let's run with that.
Wrong, my brother. Wrong, my brother from another mother. Wrong. The best thing they should have been doing is doing what we were talking about them doing 4 months ago and having their butts on the phone, making sure that they set up 2 mega matches to make MJF and Adam Cole a match, or MJF and Adam Cole wasn't a thing 4 months ago, but to make the AEW World Championship a secondary situation for this night. This night should not be about the AEW World title. Unless you're talking about unless you're talking about CM Punk versus Omega, which is not going to happen. This match should be about putting together. I feel like I'm repeating myself. Didn't we sit here and say, and you agreed with me, that this needs to be a card of all cards?
But Sean, that went out the window this Saturday. As soon as Joe challenged Punk, I'm like, it's not happening. Get over it. It's over. I was done with it. I'm like, they're not doing the match. They teased you. They made you think, well, maybe the Elite will come out in the trios match. They teased, maybe we'll show up on Collision. It's not happening. But FTR versus the Young Bucks, that's not a great tag. That's probably the best tag team match you could do today. If they show up and they get to show out, let them do their thing. You thought the matches that FTR had were great with Juice and Jay and all them? They're going to be fine. I think they can deliver a good tag match. That match has me interested in who's going to play the politics the most in that one. Now you got Team Collision versus Team Dynamite. Who's going to win the politicking there? Is it the new guys who just signed their contracts? Did they say, guarantee me the tag belts back and we win that feud with FTR? This could spark something bad too. We talk about CM Punk's the bad guy. You might have sparked something bad with this, with the booking. Because does FTR deserve to lose the belts? There's a lot to this.
I hear you.
Sick is agreeing with you. I agree. The pay-per-view is lackluster. AEW got to figure it out to make this show a huge deal. Is it not already, though? They've got the tickets sold.
No, but that's not. This is what's making me mad right now with you, Conrad. You know I love you, bro, but you're making me mad right now. You're reneging on everything you said. You said this show needs to be mega card, bro. That's what you said.
You're Tony Khan. Be Tony Khan for a second.
I'm telling you.
I'm not doing it. They say they're not doing it. What do? Give me your card. Give me your card. No CM Punk. I don't want to do the match. If he's in it, I'm not doing it. Give me the card.
I'm not saying it's not a hard problem to fix. And maybe it's an unfixable problem. But that's not the debate we're having. My debate was simply this. AEW has not delivered what we agreed they needed to deliver for this particular show. And for some reason, you're saying that they have.
I'm saying with what they've been given, I guess what I'm saying is you can't just put this is the whole scene. They haven't delivered. Of course they haven't delivered on that. But we don't know why.
Conrad, this is the biggest show in the history of the company. MJF and Adam Cole, I love them both. It's not big enough for the marquee for a show of this magnitude, Conrad. That's what I'm trying to say. What am I saying that's incorrect here? Are you saying Adam Cole and MJF is big enough to main event Wembley Stadium and the biggest show in the history of the company? Or is that what you're saying?
See where the match is going, though? Do you see what do you know the main event for All Out?
I don't know. I don't.
It's set up. It's right there in front of everybody. It's going to be CM Punk and MJF in Chicago the next week. Punk's the real world's champion. MJF hasn't addressed it. Spoiler alert. I'm telling everybody now it's going to be Punk and MJF in Chicago with the 2 belts. They're going to, at the end, I can see it now. Punk's going to be raising his belt. MJF's going to be raising his. It's the Summer of Punk stuff all over again. It's on repeat. I don't know what happened. Let's look at some of the other matches on this.
Sure.
Supposedly, you have FTR and the Bucks. I think that's good. Jeff Jarrett's probably going to do something with Grotto. The real question is, can Tony Khan get the theme for Grotto so everyone sings the song? I don't know if you're familiar with him when he was in Impact.
I am. Yeah.
Okay. So they've got that for what they're trying to do. Right. Cool. That's kind of playing towards the local fan base. I know a lot of people in the chat probably like, who's Grotto? I don't care. Whatever. You got to figure out how to fit more people in. Now, the question is, do you go with Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy, or are you going to try and do some multi-person match to get this going too? And this feud is weird. You have the Lucha Bros. This is where I'm getting disappointed. Why is it the Best Friends in Orange Cassidy, the Lucha Bros, and BCC? Like, Tony's trying to get as many people on the card as he can. That's great, Tony. Do a battle royal. Do something else.
Yeah, like, I think we talked about this too, and I guess we're definitely still on the same page with this. You can't just throw people in there just because. You can't.
Right. And Moxley's been beating up Orange, and I think if you're going to do a title match, cool, you could put that on there. I think the women's division, I think they wanted Jamie Hayter back, and it sounds like Jamie Hayter's way too hurt still, and she's not going to be back in time. There's a lot to this.
That's a tough break.
So now you've got Shida for the championship. Do you go with Toni Storm or do you go with Saraya? Who's the bigger star?
I think Saraya, no disrespect to Toni Storm, for this show, I would go with Saraya. What do you think?
Tony's the more active one in the ring, though. You're going to get more out of Tony in the long run versus Saraya. Saraya maybe in the short term, but you also have Hikaru Shida, who's the champ, and I think Shida's been one of your best women's wrestlers the entire time of AEW. She has delivered every single time. You give her 3 wins, or talk about put her in a title match.
I think the best way to put this, Conrad, is that if you really wanted me to break this thing down, I would say this pay-per-view needs to be a show that nobody would mind paying full price for, right? In the era of 2023, it's like, I'll find a way, right? You know what I'm trying to say? But this needed, past tense, to be a show that, I guess Gamble's feeling me. Thank you, Gamble. This needs to be a show where I wouldn't mind paying $60 for it. And it's not. It's not. And you know what? And you know what else has happened, Conrad? And tell me if I'm wrong or not. This is starting to become what I feared it might become. A very expensive, very elaborate, very grandiose lead-in for All Out.
And that might be what it's going to be, because you're trying to build 2 cards at the same time. It is. That's a tough task.
Do they expect us to buy both?
I hope not, but I think they got strung along, truthfully, by Warner Brother Discovery. I don't know if you saw the live streaming thing that they put out recently.
Right.
David Zaslav, CEO, he was like, yeah, we're looking into doing it. And that's why I think it took so long to announce it, because they were like, is it ready? And they're like, no, we're not going to have it ready. You want to just put it up for some money? Like, and Tony's probably got to recoup the money for streaming it live. Like, dude, I thought you guys were going to have it ready.
Yeah.
But
I think the only thing we're disagreeing on is you have a lot more stock in the Adam Cole MJF, and I think it's great. I just don't think
it's not me though. Hold on, Matt had a great comment. He said, "I feel fans are just invested in who's turning on who. They followed the story." Bro, listen, I was team FTR beats them. We move on. You do the turn, pick somebody who's gonna do this. But they stopped. They let it simmer, and I'm like, this is making money. They're following the Roman Reigns bloodline thing. Yeah. Let it simmer for a minute, because you have something here. You don't need someone to turn. If this is the main event, indeed, we better get a big new heel debut where they cost Cole a match or something. And we don't know what else we're getting on this card. But what I'm saying is they got to kind of set up what we're getting. Like I said, I don't know if we're getting the Best Friends, BCC, and Lucha Bros in some kind of crazy multi-man match. I don't know what else we're getting from this. Matt Lopez says, for all we know, Punk and Omega are cool with working with each other, and it's not happening because TK is wanting to build it as a world championship feud, but neither are world champions.
For you or anybody else, my question is this, and I'm going to leave it at this. Is Cole, because I equate this, and I think Gamble said this very accurately, I equate this with WrestleMania 1 for WWE. And I also always, because I'm partial, I always swing it back to WrestleMania 3, which I still think is the most important pay-per-view in the history of the business, right? Is this match, Adam Cole versus MJF, is this match Hogan versus Andre? Is this match Rock versus Austin? Yes or no?
You don't have matches like that too much.
No, that's a scapegoat answer, Conrad. I'm talking about, is that the better way to phrase the question is this the best you got?
No. And I don't know, but why is it not happening?
Well, then that's a problem then.
No. But this goes back, then I want my apologies. I want my receipts filled out. Because didn't I tell everybody CM Punk said he'd do business? Yeah, I'll do it.
I feel you on that.
He put it out there. But CM Punk's the problem. CM Punk's doing things wrong. Still waiting for someone to say that they told Cole Cabana and all that stuff too. Who started that rumor? Anyone want to fess up? No? Nobody? Oh, yeah. But Punk's the coward, right? Got it. You know, sometimes
I never called Punk a coward.
I'm just saying that's what people were saying.
I said Punk needs to maintain his professionalism even when he gets mad. That's all I said.
Yeah. It's what they're gonna do. It's $19.99 on Fight. I heard it was $50 for the States.
Yeah, so, that's international price, bro.
Rumor is BCC versus Orange Cassidy, Kingston, and question marks.
Why are you having nothing against ML? He's probably reported. Why are you having BCC fight a 6-man tag? Why? That's not a smart move, Conrad. Am I wrong?
Well, I'm sure Danielson was supposed to have a big match and they lost that.
Yeah.
Another rumor is Will Ospreay versus Jericho, which is kind of head scratching, but Jericho's storyline's still playing out, so I don't know what they're doing with this. It feels weird though to me.
Right.
The whole JAS. I guess we'll find out more this week. And where is Britt Baker? Britt Baker doesn't have a match. Maybe they turn the women's match into a multi-person match. Don't know.
Like the biggest show in AEW history. Oh man. Wow.
Here we go, Conrad. I'm just saying, why do they need to have the best show and they took $80K with no matches announced? Well, you want retention too, BJ. You want more people to come back for it.
Come on, BJ, you're better than that. I hear what you're saying. The job is already done, but you want to have a major show to be able to make another 80,000 come out the next time.
Two things never change, guy. Wear FUBU and Conrad likes Punk. I'm just listen. I just want someone. No one will ever. If we ever find out that they said no to this, y'all better be going after them like you were Punk. That's all I'm saying.
100%.
These are the guys who got to keep EVP titles, who got apparently millions.
But
they said NBA money.
That would be just, if we ever found out that Elite didn't want to do business, that would make I lose all respect for them.
Don't the people want Moxley Kingston? I think people want Kingston and Claudio. That's what they've been building up on ROH.
I agree.
Nigel McGuinness still wants the match. I thought McGuinness and Danielson was going to be the other match that we would have gotten. Terrible. Y'all do Collision or nah? Let's see here. This was the big issue of the show. Some of y'all favorites won't be in matches that you want them in. I'll wait and see what they give us, man. And listen, I also think that they're going to over-deliver on the matches. I know that the card may sound weak, but I still bet you they go out and put on a heck of a show. That's my opinion on it. I think that AEW really doesn't have too many bad pay-per-views in their catalog.
No doubt.
Also, guys, please know I'm not agreeing with what I'm saying. I think it should just be the best matches, too. I'm just saying that could be the mentality. You got the money.
I feel you. Make a good point. BJ.
Moxley and Kingston been doing the respect thing while Claudio hates Kingston. The story with Eddie Kingston's always that he can't handle it once it's time to get to the big moment.
Yeah.
Which is great. It works for him.
Christian
2.0. Sean, I'm gonna let you take us out of here, man. Let's wrap it up.
I'm out of gas. You take us. You take us out, brother.
Folks, we'll be back live on Everything Pro Wrestling with a Dynamite review this Wednesday. Make sure you keep it locked into the channel. If we get any Fight Forever or WWE 2K24 news, we'll have it for you. Just keep it locked in with us at Everything Pro Wrestling. Make sure you subscribe to Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. For myself and my tag team partner, Sean, we are out this week
50.
Next week, the 5-0. Might have to put some G Unit on for the music to promote it. So make sure you guys come out, represent next week. I appreciate y'all. We're out. 1.